That's what's wrong right now. Everybody trying to rap the same style with the, I don't know who created it, if it was Future or Migos, but all them sound the same. I said, me in the studio one night trying to do that. I'm like, man, cut this shit off.
Mumble rap.
I mean, in
Take the out of your mouth and speak clearly, young man. This mumble blah, blah, blah. Speak clearly, let me hear what the you're saying.
Mumble rap came into the game like a storm, and while some of these artists might drop tracks with fire beats, that doesn't automatically make them real rappers. A lot of people see it as lazy and a major downgrade from what hip-hop is really about. I mean, just check this out.
we what you call a mumble rapper. Just yeah. So you say yeah after everything and make it rhyme. It don't matter what it is. Like for real, you can say anything. I just went to the store. Yeah. For the love. Yeah. Hey.
And you already know the OGs in the game aren't shy about calling it out, especially when you've got people like Rich the Kid talking nonsense about how the OGs are intimidated by them. That's when you know something's seriously off.
I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? You can feel it. Some other artists and artists that's been in the game, you know what I'm saying? They feel intimidated by younger artists coming in the game, taking it over.
Legends like Snoop Dogg.
Gang, gang, slang. You ain't
Gang, they got to use that word. I'm speechless. Two goofballs in the pool.
Eminem. Ice Cube.
I mean, you know, he definitely talking, he definitely riding.
And plenty of others have weighed in, and for good reason. When the pioneers of hip-hop see a new wave coming up, they expect real talent and effort. If you're not bringing the heat, trust me, they'll let you know. Starting with Snoop Dogg, he's never been shy about calling out the repetitive and shallow concepts behind mumble rap. So when Snoop and Kevin Hart sat down to react to some of 2021's most viral TikTok videos, it was only a matter of time before Snoop had something to say. One clip showed the Island Boys, those twin brothers trying to sing in a pool. And let's just say neither Snoop nor Hart could hide their embarrassment. They were cracking jokes as soon as the footage ended.
I'm an island boy, and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy.
I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy.
I'm speechless. Two goofballs in the pool.
You know why I'm not speechless?
Why?
Because I'm an island.
Now the Island Boys, especially Fly, didn't take the roasting lightly. Fly caught wind of the segment and decided to fire back, directing most of his frustration towards Snoop. Fly even threatened, saying, "If he were to say that to me in real life on sight, I would fade. I would beat his ass. I swear to God on everything in my life I would. I swear to God if I ever see him, it's on sight."
And if Snoop Dogg would have said that to me in real life, on sight, I would have faded. I would have beat his ass on everything. I swear to God, my life, I would have. I swear to God. If I ever see him, it's on sight.
Bold words, but Snoop, being the seasoned veteran and unbothered king he is, wasn't fazed in the slightest. Instead of responding with anger, Snoop took it all in stride and turned it into a joke. He posted on Instagram with a playful jab saying, "I don't want no smoke wit, cuz," making it clear he wasn't about to take the Island Boys seriously. Fans were quick to remind Fly and his brother that trying to mess with someone like Snoop Dogg was a losing battle, and it seemed like the Island Boys got the message because Fly eventually issued an apology, backing down from his threats.
Hey, my fault. I didn't mean to be mean to Snoop Dogg. I love Snoop Dogg. You know, it's just, he's an inspiration, you know. He kind of put me down with the way he was talking about me. So, you know, at the end of the day, I am a human being.
Then there's Eminem, who's never been one to mince words when it comes to his feelings about mumble rap. To say M isn't a fan of the new wave would be putting it lightly. He can't stand it. And he made that crystal clear on his album Kamikaze, where he went on a lyrical rampage, calling out mumble rappers left and right, from taking shots at Lil Yachty.
I can see why people like Lil Yachty, but not me though. Not even dissing, it just ain't for me.
To mockingly interpolating Migos' hit song Bad and Boujee.
Brain dead, eye drops, pain meds, Cyclops, they big, iPod, Maybach, my pop.
Raindrops, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box.
And even flipping Lil Pump's flow from Gucci Gang just to show how ridiculous he thought it all was. Of course, these younger rappers didn't take it lying down. Lil Pump, for one, decided to hop online and talk trash about Eminem, claiming nobody listens to Eminem anymore.
Hey, Eminem, you as lame as hell.
Ain't nobody listening to your old you lame as
But of course, that statement didn't sit right with anyone, especially when you look at their streaming numbers. Eminem's fan base is massive, and comparing their stats made it clear Pump was out of his depth. Eminem, never one to let things slide, responded in his usual clever way by quoting his own lyrics from Book of Rhymes on Twitter. What made it even funnier was that by early 2021, Lil Pump seemed to develop selective amnesia about the whole beef. When asked about it, he acted like he didn't even remember what went down.
Eminem, Lil Pump, like what was that about?
Who?
Eminem.
I don't remember that.
But if we're talking about rap beefs with mumble rappers, the situation with MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, probably stands out the most. It all started when MGK tweeted that Eminem's daughter, Haley, was hot. Now, if you know anything about Eminem, you know his daughter is off limits. That tweet didn't sit well with M. And even though MGK tried to keep it moving, Marshall wasn't going to let it slide. Fast forward to MGK's song No Reason, where he made a sly reference to Eminem's track Rap God. That was all it took for M to fire back with Not Alike, a scathing diss track that dragged MGK for the Haley tweet and much more.
And I'm talking to you, but you already know who the fuck you are, Kelly.
MGK, to his credit, didn't back down. He dropped Rap Devil, a bold response that left everyone shocked he had the nerve to go after one of the greatest to ever do it. In the track, MGK accused M of being out of touch, claimed his last 4 albums were trash, and even took a jab about being able to hook up with M's ex-wife Kim.
That's gone crazy. Yeah, Haley, you right. Dad's always mad, cooped up in the studio yelling at the mic.
But you already know Eminem wasn't going to let that slide. He came back harder with Shot, a diss track that tore MGK apart. From mocking MGK's career to dismantling his arguments line by line, M left no doubt about who won that battle.
Out petty who with your corny lines. Slim your roll. Out Kelly ooh, but I'm 45 and I'm still out selling you.
Later, M addressed the beef in an interview, explaining his side of the story and making it clear he had no regrets about the way things played out. MGK, on the other hand, ended up pivoting his career to rock music not long after. And then there are the mumble rappers who go out of their way to disrespect the OGs. Take Lil Xan, for example. He's the guy behind the hit Betrayed, but he stirred up a massive storm of controversy when he had the nerve to call Tupac's music boring in an interview. If that wasn't bad enough, he rated Pac a 2 out of 10 on what he called a clout meter.
The boring music.
For those who don't know, clout is basically a way to measure someone's influence or cool factor. Obviously, this didn't sit well with anyone who respects hip-hop history. Twitter went wild, with people from all generations coming out of the woodwork to roast him. One tweet summed it up perfectly. People shouldn't be shocked about Lil Xan disrespecting Tupac. You all have enabled these little culture vultures to get way too comfortable to the point where they can be as disrespectful as they want. Another user wasn't holding back either. This coming from a rapper named after a drug? Tupac was a poet with university classes studying his boring raps, something you'll never know or have. Realizing he had seriously messed up, Lil Xan tried to make amends by performing Tupac's iconic California Love at one of his shows. But by then, the damage was done. Fans weren't buying it, and the backlash kept rolling in. Things escalated even further when Xan nearly found himself in a shootout in downtown Los Angeles. He and his girlfriend, Annie Smith, were at a gas station when someone recognized him and brought up the Tupac comments.
Hey homie, you a Yeah, that's why, yeah.
Xan didn't say much at the time, but later he admitted on Instagram that he had pulled out a gun to protect himself. He claimed, "The media's gonna twist what just happened at a gas station. I was about to be attacked and had to defend myself. F all you old head AB still talking about that Tupac-ish. Live your own life and stop picking on a kid." A week later in an interview, Xan tried to backpedal, claiming, "I never dissed Tupac. They edited the clip to make it look like I hate all old school hip-hop."
Nothing wrong against Tupac. I never dissed him because they edited the clip to make it look like I hate all old school hip-hop.
But by then, it was too late. He'd already cemented his place as one of the most disrespectful newcomers in the industry. Then there was 6ix who didn't shy away from controversy either. During a heated January 2018 interview with DJ Academics, Pac's name came up, and X got visibly irritated. "I'm better than Tupac, bro," he said. "Please don't compare me to him. Please don't."
Bro, I'm better than Tupac, bro. Please don't compare me to him. Please don't compare me to him. Please don't. Tupac can't make rap music.
As you can imagine, fans and critics alike weren't having it. One fan took to Twitter saying, X does this, X says that, X takes A-ish at McDonald's. Effing give it up already. No one gives a F about this weak woman beater or his B opinions. Another person broke it down explaining, I get that music changes over time, but what this kid doesn't get is that Tupac was speaking to a whole other generation and a whole other time. No rapper today can compare to him unless they were around in 1996 and lived through what was happening back then. These rappers now just make these statements for attention. Another fan didn't hold back at all, calling X the most rapper today. Then there's Lil Yachty, who's made it pretty clear he doesn't care for old school hip-hop, and he's not shy about saying so. Yachty caused an uproar in the hip-hop community with his dismissive attitude toward rap legends. He went on record saying he thinks Biggie is overrated, which is practically sacrilegious in the world of hip-hop. And if that wasn't enough, Yachty openly admitted he's not familiar with either Tupac or Biggie's catalogs. He couldn't even name 5 songs from either of them.
Drake is better than Tupac and Biggie. They ain't got shit on Drake. They ain't got shit on Drake. They don't have shit on Drake. What can they do that Drake can do? Drake rapping, singing.
His excuse was that he was busy doing other things and didn't see learning hip-hop history as a priority. But if I do it my way and earn so much money, why should I do it the way everyone says it should be done? He said, shrugging off the criticism. But if we're talking about disrespect, Kodak Black might take the crown. He's thrown shade at both Tupac and Biggie in a way that made it clear he doesn't care about the legacies of these icons. Kodak started off by making some offhand comments, but then he doubled down during an Instagram live session. He outright claimed he's better than Tupac and Biggie, and even went as far as to say the only reason they're considered legends is because they're no longer alive.
People trying to say, oh, I can't put myself in a category with Tupac now. Actually, I'm better than them. You know why? Because I live what I rap about. Them niggas was just like, them niggas just legends, like, cause they died.
As expected, those comments didn't sit well with anyone who respects the history of the genre, and Kodak's pattern of stirring up drama didn't stop there. He's also taken shots at Lil Wayne, calling him washed up and irrelevant. Wayne might have chosen to stay silent on the matter, but his daughter, Reginae Carter, wasn't about to let it slide. She clapped back, saying Kodak's new album sounded like it was trying to copy her father's old style. Next up, let's talk about Ola Run, who had a run-in with none other than Gucci Mane. Now, Gucci is known for his no-nonsense attitude and doesn't hesitate to put people in their place when they step out of line. Back in 2019, Gucci saw potential in Ola, a rising rapper from Atlanta, and decided to sign him. Gucci even hopped on a few tracks with him to give his career a boost. But things started to go sideways during an Instagram live session. The two were chopping it up when Gucci mentioned he might finish up a song they were working on later that night. Instead of playing it cool, Ola started acting up, talking crazy and pressing Gucci about finishing the track. Now Gucci being Gucci wasn't about to let that slide. Right there on the live, he checked Ola, letting him know that kind of disrespect wouldn't fly.
Nah, we ain't gonna do all that on live, man.
Man, gonna tell me, hey, run the business, don't try to run my life. What kind of time you want that phone, man?
No, man, hell nah, I wasn't saying like that.
You'd think Ola would take the hint and cool off, but nope, he kept up the same attitude. Gucci eventually decided he'd had enough and dropped him from the label altogether. Since then, Ola's career hasn't exactly taken off, and it's clear that going up against Gucci Mane was a terrible move. This isn't the first time Gucci's had to check someone, though. There was another moment at a radio station meet and greet where Gucci was signing autographs and taking pictures with fans. Out of nowhere, this guy walked in and started freestyling loudly, trying to get Gucci's attention.
It was up all way one. I ain't talking about my young can't nigga cut their dog.
Bad timing doesn't even begin to cover it. Gucci wasn't in the mood for any of that. He quickly shut the guy down, telling him nobody wanted to hear his raps right then and there. The dude looked crushed, and honestly, it was a lesson in reading the room.
If you ain't know, that's right now.
This ain't no free shot.
I told you knew him.
But Gucci doesn't just put up-and-comers in their place. He's gone toe-to-toe with rap legends too. Back in 2005, he found himself in one of the most infamous beefs in hip-hop history with Jeezy. Things got intense when Jeezy dropped a track and put a $10,000 bounty on Gucci's infamous ice cream cone chain. That bounty led to a wild situation where 5 guys showed up at Gucci's place trying to snatch the chain. It turned physical, and Gucci ended up fighting them off. In the heat of the moment, he managed to grab his gun and fired a shot, hitting one of the attackers, Pookie Lock. A few days later, Pookie Lock's body was found behind a middle school. Gucci turned himself in and claimed self-defense. The courts agreed and he walked free on those grounds, but Gucci didn't just let it end there. He dropped a diss track targeting both Jeezy and Pookie Lock, making it clear he wasn't going to forget what happened. Fast forward to 2020 and the beef reignited during a Versus battle between Gucci and Jeezy. The two went head-to-head playing their biggest tracks, but Gucci decided to perform Truth, his diss track that explicitly mentions the Pookie Lock incident. After finishing the track, Gucci doubled down, telling Jeezy he's still smoking on Pookie Lock, a blatant reminder of their violent history.
I tell you what.
Put that in the dirt.
I tell you what.
Smoking on Pookie Lock tonight.
I tell you what.
Jeezy tried to keep things cool, suggesting they move past it since it had been 15 years. But Gucci wasn't having any of it. He told Jeezy straight up that if he couldn't perform Truth, there was no point in doing the Versus battle at all. The tension was real, and Jeezy looked visibly uncomfortable, clearly not expecting Gucci to come that hard. Now let's switch gears and talk about Trav, a former G-Unit member who got checked by 50 Cent. Everyone knows 50 Cent doesn't back down from conflict, and he's always ready to call someone out. One notable moment happened on stage with Meek Mill. They were performing when, out of nowhere, 50 turned to Trav, said something, and then pushed him away.
Listen, hold up, stop the music, hold up. Hey, listen, 50 though.
The tension was thick, and it was obvious 50 wasn't joking around. Meek Mill and others on stage quickly tried to calm the situation, with Meek even stepping in to say that he and Trav were like family. Thankfully, Meek managed to defuse things before they escalated, but it was a reminder that 50 isn't someone to mess with. Another time, 50 was out having dinner with Nicki Nicole, just minding his business, when an up-and-coming rapper ran up on him, upset that 50 wasn't giving his music a listen. Things got heated as the guys started squaring up, asking if 50 was going to hit him. He kept pushing, telling 50 to check out his Instagram, and when 50 still wasn't interested, the rapper accused him of being unfair.
Look at my jellies. Look at my jellies. That's some. Hit me, go ahead. We can fight. I don't care. That's a tape, man. Nah, I don't care about the camera.
The whole thing was caught on camera, with the rapper's friend filming it, clearly hoping to create a viral moment. 50 firmly put the guy in his place, letting him know that this aggressive approach wasn't going to get him anywhere. Luckily, no punches were thrown, but the clip went viral anyway. The rapper later tried to milk the moment, posting a video on Instagram challenging 50 to a fight and hoping to use the attention to promote his music.
Like, yeah, I grew up listening to your music. I salute you, feel me? But when I approached you, I was like, yo, I want you to look at my Instagram. That was it.
Just reinforced what everyone already knew. Jay-Z is still someone you don't mess with, no matter how long he's been in the game.